It's a orange juice.
The Ghost has a really unique invisibility mechanic. It deploys invisible until it attacks. So the way you defend traditionally will not work. You won't be able to pull a knight into the center. Ideally, you'll want to deploy your Ghost in front of the tower. This gives your tower time to smack down your opponent's units before your Ghost engages. And unlike a knight, since the Ghost spawns invisible, you can plant him a tiny bit earlier to engage against something like a musketeer. Once he's done attacking, it takes 0.7 seconds to turn invisible again. In this invisible state, any projectiles that are already flying toward him will damage him. However, while invisible, the giant skeleton and balloons bombs will not affect the Ghost. I'm pretty sure this is a bug and will be patched in the next client update, probably in March. The Ghost is a melee unit, but like any other unit with a sword, it can reach a tad bit farther. His sword can reach 1.2 tiles. Here's what's interesting though. His splash radius is going to be the center of the unit that he hits, not the tip of his sword. To show you guys what I mean, here's a Ghost hitting a Sparky. His splash radius is in the center of the Sparky. He'll splash anything that's touching the Sparky, but Sparky's pretty fat, so those skeletons between him and Sparky are not going to be splashed based on how the splashing mechanic works. It's the exact same thing as a Dark Prince, except you don't notice with a Dark Prince because the Dark Prince has a bigger splash radius. He has a 0.8 tile splash radius. This is tiny. If you look at him hitting the giant, this is his total splash area. He's not going to splash many other things with the giant. He can 3-shot barbarians. On paper, this sounds amazing, but in practice, his splash radius is only 0.8 tiles, and he'll usually only splash 2 barbarians at most. Because of his invisibility, it's incredibly hard to counter this 3 elixir card with traditional methods. Pulling the Ghost into the center does nothing. He still gets the first strike. He'll wreck goblins and destroy your tower. If you're using goblins or guards, it's way better to surround the Ghost. With goblins, he'll only get 2 hits on your tower. With guards, no chance. If you try to pull the Ghost with an ice golem to the center, that won't do anything. He'll get 3 shots on your princess tower with an unsupported ice golem. It'll stop him slightly, but he'll still get 3 shots on the tower after wrecking the ice golem. There's a better way to use the ice golem. If your attack is weak on the side of the Ghost is approaching, you can actually kite the Ghost with an ice golem. As a bonus, since both towers target the Ghost, he'll only land 2 hits on your tower. If he's already locked onto your tower, you can use the ice golem to push him forward and retarget onto the golem. He'll get 3 shots on your tower. If you plant the ice golem right as the Ghost is about to finish his second swing, the ice golem won't travel too far. This results in the Ghost remaining within 0.7 seconds within the tower, which means he won't phase. The Ghost will only get 2 hits on your tower. The reason this timing is critical is because if your ice golem travels too far, the Ghost has enough time to turn invisible. And this resets your princess tower's attack frame back to 0, getting less hits on the Ghost. Knight, Valkyrie, or whatever you have on hand is really good if he's already connected to your tower and you want to push him forward. They're large enough that it pushes him far away that he won't splash your tower, unlike a Dark Prince. The Mini P.E.K.K.A is a decent counter against the Ghost. It can 2-shot the Ghost. Depending on the situation in the game, you may want to place the P.E.K.K.A closer to your tower so it can build up a slightly stronger push. Knight can counter the Ghost for an even elixir trade. Just don't plant him beside the Ghost. This buys him time to deploy. He'll be too low of health to be used for a counterattack, but it's 3 for 3. Bowler can be used to counter the Ghost very well, especially in big ground pushes. The Bowler will still knock back the Ghost while he's invisible. He won't die to lightning, but he can be targeted by lightning while invisible. This is the same as using lightning on a knight. Not worth it. He can be 1-shot by a rocket, but be mindful of your elixir and your win conditions, because he's still only a 3 elixir card. Think to yourself, would you normally rocket an ice wizard and a tower against that opponent? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. He has exactly 1,100 health, and Sparky also deals the exact same damage. Since Sparky can 1-shot the Ghost, she's a pretty decent counter. Especially if the Ghost is behind a large object like a giant. The splash will wreck the Ghost so hard, he won't know what hit him. One really interesting combo with the Ghost is that you can play an Ice Golem or Battle Ram behind him to tank for the tower. This invisibility mechanic changes the way you can play Clash Royale. Using Tornado, you can activate the King Tower if you can afford the 230 damage on your Princess Tower. but it's always worth it if this happens within the first minute of a game and your Princess Tower is at full health. The Ghost can 3-shot Fireballies. Fireballies are units like Barbarians, Musketeer, Wizard, Ice Wizard, Electro Wizard, and Witch. With his splash attack, he can take out 3 Musketeers very well. He can engage 2 Musketeers right at the bridge, take them out, and still have enough health to deal 460 damage to that Princess Tower left ignored. His invisibility mechanic is overpowered. Some other good numbers to keep in mind is that he will kill archers and bombers in 2 swings. This is pretty useful to know considering he can splash both archers if they're packed really close together. He deals slightly less damage than the log per swing, but that's not going to stop him from countering everything that the log can counter. He can take out goblins, princess, ice spirit, fire spirits, dark goblins, spear goblins, and the guard shields in 1 swing. Especially against ice spirit, it's an amazing way to get rid of it since it kills the ice spirit before it gets the chance to jump onto anything. Unlike the knight, he can counter the witch a bit better since he does have a splashing attack. For 3 elixir, he's so value. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more quality OJ.